To meeting number 23 of the House of Commons Standing Committee on Industry, Science and Technology, pursuant to Standing Order 1082 and the motion adopted by the committee on Monday, June 1st. The committee is meeting to study the Investment Canada Act. Today's proceedings is taking place by video conference, and the proceedings will be made available via the House of Commons website. I'd like to remind members and witnesses, before speaking, please wait until I recognize you by name. When you are ready to speak, please unmute your microphone. Make sure that you are selected the language that you will be speaking. And then when you are finished speaking, make sure that you remute your mic. When you are speaking, please speak slowly and clearly so that the translators can do their work. As is my normal practice, I will wave a yellow card when you have 30 seconds remaining in the time period, and I will raise the red card for when your time is up. Please respect the sign so that everyone can get their turn. I'd now like to welcome our witnesses. We have two panels today. Our first panel, Minister from the Industry Sector at the Department of Industry, and Dominique Rochon, Senior Assistant Deputy Minister, National Security and Cybersecurity Branch from the Department of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness. Our second panel, which we will reintroduce after the first panel, we have Omar Wakil, partner at Torys LLP, and Michelle Travis, Research Director from Unite Here Canada. Each witness group will have 5 minutes to present, followed by our regular question periods. And with that, we will start with Mr. Hauleg. You have the floor for 5 minutes.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, good afternoon. As indicated, my name is Tim Hauleg. I'm Assistant Director of Requirements at the Canadian Security Intelligence Service. Amongst other things, my directorate is responsible for the analysis of intelligence CSIS collects on threats to the security of Canada. Our intelligence assessments and advice are provided to government to inform decision-making. I want to thank you very much for the invitation to participate in the committee's study of the Investment Canada Act. I want to briefly begin by outlining CSIS' mandate, which is to investigate activities suspected of constituting a threat to the security of Canada, to advise the Government of Canada on such threats, and to take measures to reduce these threats. The threats to the security of Canada are defined in Section 2 of the CSIS Act as espionage and sabotage, foreign influenced activity, terrorism, and subversion of government through violence. As discussed in our recent public report, state-sponsored economic...
Madame la Présidente, point d'ordre, s'il vous plaît, la traduction ne se fait pas.
The interpretation is not happening. Call to order.
D'accord, merci.
Thank you.
I'm just going to pause your time.
Thank you.
Pour le service de traduction, est-ce qu'on peut vérifier? Présentement, je suis sur français, puis j'ai une traduction en anglais.
I'm currently on the French and I get the English translation right now.
Checking in English.
Est-ce que vous pouvez me... Can you... You are hearing me in French?
Français.
French.
In French.
Mr. Hauleg, go ahead.
Thank you. As discussed in our recent public report, state-sponsored economic espionage activities in Canada continue to increase in breadth, depth, and potential economic impact. In order to fulfill their national economic, intelligence, and military interests, some foreign states engage in espionage activities. Foreign espionage has significant economic ramifications.
Madame la... Vous avez entendu le commentaire de l'inter...
I'm sorry, I heard the interpreter.
The interpreter is sorry that this witness is not bringing his microphone close enough to his mouth and cannot hear him, and she has to interrupt service. Just one moment.
Mr. Hauleg, is it possible for you to slow down so that the translation can keep up with you?
Absolutely.
Thank you. We'll try again.
So foreign espionage has significant economic ramifications for Canada, including job loss, intellectual property, corporate and tax revenues, as well as competitive advantages. With our economic prosperity, our open academic research communities, Canada offers attractive prospects to foreign investors. Although foreign investment is a key driver of Canada's economic prosperity, it also has the potential, in certain cases, to adversely affect our national security interests. The acquisition of sensitive intellectual property, technology, and vast amounts of Canadian citizens' private data for foreign use or with foreign state control can threaten national security. While the vast majority of foreign investment in Canada is carried out in an open and transparent manner, some state-owned enterprises and private firms with suspected or known ties to their government and/or intelligence services can pursue corporate acquisition bids in Canada or other economic activities on a non-commercial basis for their own strategic interests. Foreign states have engaged in espionage and foreign interference targeting Canada for years.
Je suis obligé de vous arrêter à nouveau.
I have to stop you again. Mr. Sébastien Lemire has no sound.
Excusez-moi.
I'm sorry. Call to order. The interpreter repeated that the sound quality is not good enough to provide adequate interpretation, so we are having a problem right now. There was an improvement of the sound in the previous seconds. I don't know if interpretation is possible.
We're just going to sorry, I'm going to switch back to English. I'm just going to verify with the translators if they have actually a copy of your remarks, just to make sure that if there's a problem with the sound that they're able to continue to translate. One moment.
Okay.
Excellente idée.
Mr. Clerk, can we just verify with the translators that they do in fact have Mr. Halleg's speech, so that in the event that there's an audio problem, they can still continue to do translation?
Hello, Madam Chair. This is Kathleen here in Ottawa. I'm the interpreter coordinator. I can check with my team if they do have the speaking remarks. However, having the text is one thing, but interpreters still have to check against delivery. And for that to be possible, they need clear sound.
Okay, is it the sound that is difficult or in terms of the speed?
It was both, actually, and there was improvement with the sound when the witness placed the microphone higher up, but it seems that the device itself does not allow for clear sound. The only last option we can try, perhaps, is for the witness to put the microphone further away and up and see if that works, but really it's a matter of quality. It's not just a question of having the text.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure that if it was a question of that the sound was not coming through, that you had the text. But I want to make sure if we can try, Mr. Halleg, if you could move the microphone a little bit further away and try to speak a little slower, and we're going to test that if you could.
Absolutely. So foreign states have engaged in espionage and foreign interference targeting Canada for years. This is not new activity.
Sorry to interrupt. Could the witness take the earbud out of the left ear? Left. So as to place the microphone directly in front of his mouth? Let's give this a try.
How is that? Does that sound a little bit better?
If you could just give us 2 or 3 sentences, that would be great.
Foreign states have engaged...
Madame la Présidente.
Madam Chair?
Madame la Présidente, pour éviter...
Madam Chair, to avoid wasting time and removing question turns, could I suggest that we hear another witness while those technical issues are being solved for Mr. Hawig? Yes, indeed, we could do that, but I want to make sure that everybody can follow the testimony, and we will stop after the second witness to solve his problem. So we will see if it's working. If not, we will go to the next witness.
Service de traduction, est-ce qu'on peut vérifier?
For interpreters, is it working? Otherwise, we will go to the next witness. It seemed a bit better. Could we hear a few sentences so we can see, so we can hear? Thank you.
Can you just say a few more words? We're going to test it, and then if not, we'll go to the next witness while we try to help you with your technology.
Understood. Foreign states have engaged in espionage and foreign interference targeting Canada for years. This is not new activity. CSIS Director Vignon has spoken publicly about the impact of these threats to Canada's economy and national interests,
This is
including
the
the threat.
interpreter. Unfortunately, the sound is not good enough.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, Mr. Hallig, we're going to go to the next speaker while we try to fix your microphone, because we have very short time in the first panel. So if you will excuse us, what we'll do is we'll have IT get in touch with you while we are going with the next speaker.
Understood.
Thank you. Mr. Davies, if you wouldn't mind, we will give you 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for this opportunity to discuss the Investment Canada Act related to the committee study. I'm the Senior Assistant Deputy Minister of the Industry Sector for Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, and Deputy Director of Investments, responsible for supporting the Director of Investments and advising the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry on the Investment Canada Act. In my brief opening remarks, I would like to provide background to the committee on how we administer the Act, including in the current context shaped by COVID-19. As has been widely recognized, foreign direct investment plays an important role.
Madame la Présidente, désolé.
L'interprète a témoigné qu'elle devait arrêter en raison de la mauvaise qualité du son. Donc, la traduction ne se fait plus non plus avec ce témoin-là.
D'accord. Ce qu'on va le faire, we're going to suspend for one moment while we see what we can do. We are unfortunately having some difficulty with respect to translation. And so while we might be able to cite verbatim testimony, that is not ideal, and nor is it ideal for questioning and answering. So unfortunately, it looks like we are going to have to adjourn this meeting and reschedule it at a time so that we can make sure that we have a proper translation. So
Point of order, Madam Chair.
Yes, Madame Lambropoulos.
Would it not be possible for us to just read the testimony that we now all have in both official languages, take 10 minutes, read it, and then come back to ask questions? No, it's not.
The difficulty is that you can't ask questions because then the translation is not going to work for the questions and answers, and that unfortunately means we can't proceed. I'm sorry about this, but we cannot obviously have a meeting without official translation. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to adjourn this meeting, and I will be in apologies to our witnesses. We will be back in touch with you to reschedule, and I'll be in touch with the committee members to reschedule this meeting. With that, I call this meeting adjourned.